There we go. There we go. Hello. This is a little bit too... There we go. You gotta be able to see at the top. You gotta be able to check out the, there's a shadow plush back there, and there's an Alec. And they were very, very important, and we have them now. So welcome. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday. I hope those of you that celebrated Thanksgiving had a lovely Thanksgiving. I did. You may have noticed there's no vlog up yet. There will be a vlog. I promise there will be a vlog. I'm late going. I would say that I would blame it on having been out of town yesterday, but to be quite honest with you, we got back last night. I was just really tired because we had been out all day and a lot of driving. We had to drive pretty far. So I just slept in this morning. That's all there is to it. I just slept in. And then I have a little bit of an unhealthy relationship to Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, I would say. I'm working on, finding a healthy relationship with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, but for now, I have a problem. But I'm here now. We are on time. I'm going to do a vlog after this. I have a whole pot of tea. I have my super cool Savix shirt on. You can see somewhere under my hair there's an S there. There we go. How are you guys doing? I got 0 notifications about the bounty video, but at least I got the notification for this. I think that whenever I'm slacking and I don't upload all the time, it can sometimes mess with notifications. If you have opted into them with the bell, then you should see it. We'll see. I don't know. Hi, Late Night. How are you doing? Trixie, Master, Marcy. Welcome, guys. Today is my birthday, Hazel. I am 27. Happy birthday, Late Night. In the future, hang on, I gotta move my camera. It's in front of chat. In the future, what previous tier set would you like to see upgraded? Like how tier 20 was tier 6 upgraded? That's a good question. That I will, I need to go look at the tier sets because I don't know them off the top of my head. Right before the stream started, I went and got my cat off the couch and brought her in here so in hopes that she would sleep in the bed that she's been sleeping in. I have the camera all set up, but she's abandoned me, I think. Hard to say. Sometimes she finds a really weird corner of the room to just sleep in, but anyways. Like your Savix shirt? Thanks! Big fan of this one. Very comfy. I almost never wear it in videos or streams because I've almost always worn it to sleep in because it's really comfy, so it's almost never clean when I'm looking for clothes for a day. Alright, what do we got here? Am I getting stuff? Oh, I opened the wrong thing. Beggar? I have, oh yeah, I was gonna look at tier sets and figure out which one I want to see them reskin. I feel like if they do that, it's gonna be a while from now, especially because they're not doing in Battle for Azeroth, they're not doing at least for the first tier. I don't know about the later ones, but they're definitely not doing for the first tier class-specific tier sets. There will be tier looks, but they will be armor-type specific. There will be a cloth set, a leather, a mail, and a plate set. But not a priest and warlock and mage class set. So what would I like to see them redo? Actually, you know what? This. I love that set. That is probably my favorite, old-school tier set. Is that even tier? It's the AQ stuff. I love the priest AQ set, and I would really like to see that updated. Why Warlock not leveled? I leveled my Warlock about halfway from 100 to 110, and then and then somebody gave me the hateful iPad, so I didn't need it anymore. That was the only reason why I was leveling my Warlock. So depressed, you're trying to get the Kil'jaeden Heroic achievement for 2 weeks now. You know everything, but you play with random people, and they always fail to soak. Oh no, that must be such a rough fight to pug. I wish I could help. My guild's not raiding. They're hopefully coming back for the next raid, but I don't have a group either. Made my day, Hazel. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Hi, Hazel. How are you today? Hi, Anders. I am doing just great. I need to use this artifact power. I need to figure out what we're doing today. I don't have a big plan. I should, am I close to any rep caches? I was kind of thinking about, just because we have the Spirit of Sharing buff and we have the anniversary package buff up today, I was thinking about going and just doing some world quests to we could probably get an Army of the Light cache. We might be able to get a Ferondis cache. Actually, we can... Hang on, what is this? Is my idol not working for that one? Why is my... There... Oh, no, there we go. Definitely can't get a Velahart cache. We're too far in that one. But I was hoping maybe the good luck of having you guys with me might get me a mount. I gotta hope for something. My hopes have been kind of dashed. I was looking online at statistics for drop rates for the Paragon chest mounts. And a lot of people have similar stories to mine where the first 4... How many are there? There's 5 or there's 6? I think there's 5, right? But anyways, the first 3 or 4 of them came, within about 10 chests, and then at some point, the drop rate just, plummets. They either hotfixed it, or it's just worse for the second ones. Or for the later ones. I don't know, but I'm a little concerned. I love Hazel's transmog. I make YouTube videos myself. Haven't had a chance to make a live stream. You may consider making live streams by yourself. You should try it out on both YouTube and Twitch to see which one you like better, but I'm definitely a big fan of the YouTube live streaming. Hey, Matron, how have you been, man? Perfect activity for the Hazel Community Guild. Oh, man. The one day Hazel Community Guild. Hey, Hazel, I'm beginning on WoW again after a 2-year break. Any advice or tips for one who is returning to Legion? After a 2-year break. So you're probably you've never played in Legion before. Trying to think of something that's like really important to know. There's probably something. Don't worry too much about what thing you do first. Like once you hit level 110, you are going to have 30,000 things to go do. It's going to want you to do world quests, it's going to want you to do Surmar, it's going to want you to do the Broken Shore, it's going to want you to do Argus, it's going to want you to do like all of these quests, and it may be hard to figure out which ones you should do. So there isn't really a wrong answer, so don't freak out about that too much. Just do whatever sounds fun, except I would do Argus early because you want to unlock the Netherlight Crucible. That's going to give you a big like 15 atom levels to your weapon, and that's going to help everything else. But if you've never done Argus before and you don't have any gear, tough to say. If you can manage Argus, like I would try that first and do as much of it as you can, because that's going to give you huge gear upgrades, and that is going to give you the Netherlight Crucible. So I would prioritize the Argus quest line first. You dupes of some of the mounts. You're coming up empty-handed in the last 2 after months and months on 8 alts. Yeah, see, I'm kind of afraid. I'm kind of wondering, should I just write off the last 2? Should I just give up? I haven't tried any of my tea yet. Hello from Japan. Hello from Oregon. I hope you're doing well. Ever play Portal Roulette with a mage? Not intentionally, but yeah, one of our mages in our guild used to Portal Roulette at the end of every raid. And sometimes they would like do a doll portal, but then they would do an old doll portal, and then they would just start laying around portals, and I thought I was going to doll run, and I was not. I don't know where Niffy's recipe is from. I'm very confused. Hi Hazel, hi Chat, hi Mark, hello from Greece. Welcome, welcome. Argus doable in quest gear? Okay. I was a little bit nervous about that because Argus can be quite difficult. I need to restart my Razer Synapse because my gamepad is not working. Also, I have a gamepad problem. Let me show you guys. So, I did the video on Orb Weaver versus G13, and the gist of it is that I like this thing because it's mechanical. And I like it because it's mechanical, and that's still true, and it still works great. But something that I said in the video is that the rubber wrist pad on these things absolutely comes off. Like the glue, the adhesive that they use to attach the rubber wrist pad on the Razer Orb Weaver comes off. Like it can't stand up to the heat of a hand. It's just a really terrible design choice, and after years and years, they've still never fixed this. So what you have to do is you just accept that it's going to come off, and then when it comes off, you glue back on with something stronger. And I thought I had done that, but maybe not. Maybe it never came all the way off on mine. And it finally came off, of course in the middle of a twos match. It finally came off in the middle of arena a couple nights ago, and I had like glue all over my hand, and I'm trying. I think we won. I think we still won, I think. But I for now, I've just taped it on. I have like electrical tape under there holding on. It's fine. It mostly stays. I don't need it to be super on point, and I cleaned all the glue off it, so it's not gonna like glue my hand up or anything anymore. But it's it needs some work. I ordered some super glue that should do the job, and it was supposed to get here today, but the delivery got delayed, probably because of Black Friday or Thanksgiving. Hard to say, but I'm hoping that gets here soon because it needs some help. I thought I had some. I've been using 2-part like liquid cement, kind of like epoxy, like that gray, super hard to remove epoxy to attach things, but I ran out of it. Surmar is my go-to for AP, also so much AP. I would absolutely, if you've never done it before, do all of the Surmar stuff, but wait for like 1 or 2 more weeks. You want to wait if you can. Like, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but if you wait for 2 more weeks until Artifact Knowledge 55, that's the new Artifact Knowledge cap. And that's going to let you get the absolute most bang for your buck from the artifact power that you get from the Surmar questline. Doing Surmar is important because if you've never played Legion before, that's one of the main things that you're going to need to do in order to get flying. And I would recommend getting flying in Legion, even if there's not that much of Legion left, and I bet there's going to be a good chunk of Legion left, but even if there's not that much Legion left, any ult that you ever level in the future, you're going to want to have flying when you level through Legion, so I would spend some time doing that on your way back. You've been doing arenas without us. I mean, maybe like a little bit. Maybe my buddy wanted to queue a little bit of twos, and we it was going pretty good at a pretty high MMR. Even though I'm terrible, I'm so rusty. I can't. I'm just a hot mess. Like people, you could tell that the people we were fighting were triggered because of what a terrible healer I was, and the fact that we still won just because my friend is like really good. It was pretty funny. But we got once it became clear that we could pretty easily get 2K in twos. I decided to queue just enough to do that so that I can get the queue to 2K and 2s just so that I can get the elite set. I can buy the elite set next season because it's kind of cool. It's got like a bear head, and I figured I might as well. And sometimes I don't know. I don't know. I have a terrible relationship with PvP. Let's go to Stormwind and get the Spirit of Sharing buff and figure out what we're gonna do. I was kind of hoping there would be like a time walking or something. What's the event right now? Legion Dungeons. Oh man, that's not what I want to do. I should do a 10. I don't think I've done a 10 yet, but yeah, I haven't done anything. This is how active my guild is right now. That's so sad. I guess it's Friday. It's Friday. This week is like 3 days in. Man, my key is probably not very good. I've been doing bare minimum keys lately. My key is a, I mean, we could try and build up. My key is a, oh no, I have a seat 10. I have not done seat on Mythic Plus. I actually don't think I've run seat since the very first week when I was doing it for a quest. I don't think I've run seat in a long time. I mean, I made a video on it way back when. I should remember how to do it. Anybody want to do my seat 10 with me? Watching Hazel stream on holiday in Japan, never miss a stream. That's some dedication. So much AP and Surmar, yeah, it's a really good boost. With Knowledge 55, it's not going to be very hard to get yourself the you want to get to 75 points because that is the point at which you unlock all 3 of the Netherlight Crucible traits for all 3 of your relics at artifact level 75. And once we have 55 power, that's not going to be super crazy. It's probably not going to be like your first quest or anything like that, but I bet you can do it in a couple days with just like average amounts of play. Am I blind, or is this the first time you do your stream before the Almost Saturday vlog is out? You're not blind, Mark. It's out of character for me. I almost always can get a vlog recorded and uploaded on Fridays before 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I really slept in today, and I have been less efficient at everything I do ever since Animal Crossing Pocket Camp came out. I'm like level 24, 25 in that game, and I'm hoping that soon, I've heard that it gets kind of like grindier and a little bit less like you have to play it all the time. And I've kind of built up a good inventory where I don't feel like I have to farm all the fish and bugs and stuff. Like I have a couple of resets worth of materials without having to go like farm stuff. So I'm hoping that I can spend less time on it soon. I have such a problem. I have no self-control when it comes to mobile games. Like no self-control. And that's why I don't play them very often, because normally there aren't very many good mobile games. I went a little crazy in Pokemon Go when that came out, but I've since been able to get to a good place where I play it like once a day on my morning walk with my dog, and then I'm good. I'm not super worried about it. I'm not checking raids all the time. I'm not running out when I should be doing other stuff. I just kind of play it sometimes, and that's great. But, man, I had a really bad run-in with like a Clicker Hero style game on my iPad, but it was like chickens. You would like tap a button and a chicken would happen, and then you had to get like a lot of chickens so they could lay eggs. It was just like a standard clicker game. But I got really, really addicted to that for a few days, to the point that it just like ruined my life for a weekend, and then I had to uninstall it even though I was super into it because I knew I just couldn't be trusted with it. So bad. Kitty came back. Kitty's back. Kitty's back. Thank you for telling me. I never would have noticed. Cat cam. All right, let me adjust that. I think I can crop that a little bit. Let's go and see if we can zoom in on this cat. I think I need to... Kitty, don't worry about this, okay? I'm just gonna move it just a little bit. Don't worry. We're good. There you go. There you go. Kitty really, 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 really likes chin rubs. It's her favorite. She can be super mad about something, but if you start rubbing her under her chin, she'll stop whatever she's freaking out about and be like, all right, you can finish. Carry on. Sleeping in seems like a good explanation to me. Yeah, I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much because it was a holiday yesterday and we were driving like all day, but not great. If Blizz made a Clash of Clans but in Warcraft style and Blizz quality. Now, I don't actually... That would probably be bad for me. But I don't know what Clash of Clans is. Like, I've heard of it, don't get me wrong. I've heard of it, and I've heard it's like a big thing. But I don't know what it is. I've never found out what it is. Although, speaking of mobile games and MMOs, you know how everybody is making a Lineage promo video? I might make a Lineage promo video. I might try it. Because I got an email from one of the marketing people, and I might just do a sponsored Lineage video. All the cool kids are doing it, and, you know, money is money, and I'm trying to save up for a Hazelnutty House stream, so I might do one of those next week. Bizarre loud noises. So I got my Spirit of Sharing buff. We have our anniversary buff. I'm just gonna do World Quest until I think of something better to do. I guess we could try and do my key. Bolstering, explosive, tyrannical, seed of... I mean, it's only a 10. Actually, I think you're supposed to do a 15 this week if you want... Or is that the week the Mythic comes out? Is it next week that you need to do a 15 in order to get the best cash? Any chance you can do low pop server tips? I came back to WoW after 8 months, and I'm kind of like, this auction house is almost dead. Oh, no. Tips? There's really... I don't know if there's really a tip aside from transfer, honestly. Like, there's a lot... It's definitely a lot better than it used to be. Playing WoW on a low-pop server used to be really hard because, like, way back in the day, before there was the Dungeon Finder, you had to find dungeons with people on your server. So you couldn't do anything. And then it was just harder to find raiding groups, but you could do, like, cross-realm Dungeon Finder content. And now you can raid with somebody off-server, you can do arena off-server, you can do everything except for the auction house and the economy, like trading. So if you want to be really into the auction house, then you don't have a great choice. You don't have a great option other than transferring. I don't think they're gonna tie auction houses together just because that would do some very drastic things to the economy. Clash of Clans is awesome. Is there a way that I need the tangy wet lime cranberries for cranberry chutney? Yeah, I think you do need that. Are you asking if there's a way to get them? Or... I mean, hang on, let me look at the recipe. I did a little bit of this just to get a couple extra pieces that I didn't remember, but... Oh. my TSM profession window is having a bit of a moment here. Just come back to that later. Actually, you know, if we do the Kirin Tor emissary, then we can get some Ferondus rep. We can get, like, a good chunk of Ferondus rep. I don't know if it's gonna finish it, but I mean, if we do all the rest of this too, maybe. Maybe. I don't want to do the dungeon one, though. I'm not touching all the words. Those affixes? Yeah. If it's not even going to give me a capped out chest, I don't know if I want to do it. I have been so lazy about Mythic Dungeons. I'm hoping that once I'm raiding again and I have more of an incentive to actively, like, hunt down gear upgrades, and when my guild is back and I have my regular group of people to run with again, maybe then maybe then I'll be more excited about doing Mythic Plus, but until then, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating because the last couple of weeks that I've done a 10, and a couple of those weeks were, like, really rough. Like, they were, you know, Monday night plus 10 pugging, where the group is just an absolute train wreck, and it takes you an hour to get through a plus 10 Vault of Ashara. Vault of Ashara? Eye of Ashara. That one. And then you open your cache the next morning, and you got a piece of gear that you can't wear because of your tier set bonuses, and it's rough. It's rough. Get paid, girl. Go for it. It's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do, of course, the raid guide first. I have one more raid guide left to do, which is Aggramar. I know that's not the last boss. The last boss is Argus. I don't have footage of Argus, and I'm not going to have footage of Argus until my guild clears it, which isn't going to be for a while, so I may actually not do an Argus video. I might do one. If I do it, it would be super late, so I'm just letting you know if you're and I'll say this again in the vlog, but if you're waiting for an Argus video, please don't wait exclusively for mine. Definitely, if you're going to do some research, check out some other ones, because that one specific. The rest of them will all be up before the raid comes out, but the very last one, I just don't have footage. I don't know when they tested that. I must have missed it. I just don't have any footage to make the video of. Have you seen the damage buff for Shadow AoE? Shadow Crash might be worthwhile in Mythic Plus. Oh, that's true. I saw that post, and I had some feelings about it. I had some feelings about that Shadow Priest post, because you're right. Was that a hotfix? Is that in? Because I could mess around with Shadow Crash for AoE, although it's tyrannical. I don't think maybe I would need it because it's tyrannical because of the ramp up time. But it doesn't, those fixes, I was very excited when I read, like, the headline of those fixes, which is, like, fixing Shadow Priest AoE problems. And then I read the fixes, and I'm like, this doesn't fix my problem at all. Like, I guess it kind of slightly addresses the problem of mid-level Mythic Plus. But, in order to take Shadow Crash, you have to not take Legacy of the Void, which means that you're going to have massive ramp-up times for every single time you want to do any kind of damage that's not Super Cleave. And it doesn't solve the problem of, like, what if you're doing a world quest and you've got 6 imps and they are beating on you, as is the case often in Argus or the Broken Shore. I feel like, and maybe this isn't true, but I feel like every other class in the game has a something they can do to damage all 6 of those at once without having to first target and cast a spell on each of them individually. Shadow Priest has to spend a global on each and every one of those things. Unless, like, you can mind flay a Shadowward Pained target to cleave them. But when it's 6 imps, as soon as you put a Shadowward Pain on it and you start mind flaying it, it's dead. You can't do that. It doesn't work. And this doesn't solve the problems with clearing low-level dungeons, and it does not solve the problems with clearing lots of small lots of small low-health mobs. And, like, the Shadow Crash fix kind of addresses that, but it's still a 20-second cooldown even after the nerf. Buff. It's still 20-second cooldown. It's still got a travel time, even if that's faster. And you have to take it instead of Legacy of the Void, which, as far as I'm concerned, makes it pretty trash for Mythic Plus. I just don't know. I need to try it. These are all first impressions. I could be very inaccurate, so I need to try things out, but it doesn't fix the problem that I have, which is every time I want to go run an old raid, I have to go to Holy, because I just can't kill anything without targeting them individually. Any key above 5 stresses me out. Good day, Hazel. What's up, Brett? How are you doing? First time I've caught you live. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you, Haley. I am having a great day. I hope you're having a good day. Do you know if I get the anniversary achievement with a trial character? I finish uni in 3 weeks and no official WoW for me till then. I don't know. I don't see why not, but I don't know. Trial characters are free though, so you may as well try. I wish I had a better answer for you than that. The server is so dead they actually did tie my server to another one. It's listed as Murden and Nordershell. You can mail stuff, but Nordershell is only a little bit less dead. Yeah, that's the rough thing. They've been doing that. Like, they try and tie low pop realms together, but when they're both extremely low pop, that doesn't help super duper much. Do you like the new raid? I do like the new raid. I don't think I'll like it forever, just because I don't think any raid is going to be fun enough to last for, like, a really long tier, but we'll have to see how long we end up spending in Antorus before they come out with the next raid, or expansion, rather. Hazel, do you have the long-forgotten Hippogriff mount yet? Because I'm pretty sure the crystals are up on my realm. I don't have that mount. Trying it out would be, or doing it on stream is probably a good idea. I don't remember how to do it. To be completely honest with you, I know it's something to do with crystals. I know it's something that way back in the day I looked for and found it wasn't up and then decided to not worry about. But I don't know. I'd have to look up exactly what's going on with it. I hear you, Hazel, but if a pro gamer classes have strengths and weaknesses, I'm fine with strengths and weaknesses, especially in raid fights. And in dungeon fights, I don't need to be topping meters or even in the middle of meters on fights where they have cleave like that. I just want to be able to do a world quest without having, like, I want to be able to kill Falcosaurs without having to put a Shadowward Pain on each tiny little Falcosaur baby. It takes me like 20 plus seconds. It's very, very silly. I don't need to be topping meters on that. Shadow Priests have a very good raid niche where they're very strong on fights where you have 2 or 3, maybe 4, 2 or 3 continued sustained targets. So like your that early boss in Tomb where you've got like the 2 dudes, or I can't remember their names. What the heck are they called? Tomb. These guys. So Demonic Inquisition, very good fight, sustained multiple targets. The other one is you can do pretty good in Desolate Host when the ads are staying up for a while, especially because you can stun them. But that was the big one here. It's something like Hargeton where the Murlocs die like immediately. That's not as great, and it's fine. I don't need to be super topping. I just need to have a functional button. I basically want Old Mindseer back, and I'm hoping that that's what they're going to do in Battle for Azeroth. I feel like they're not going to unprune a spell mid-expansion, especially when they've already committed to unpruning spells in the next expansion. But that's what needs to happen, is we need a dedicated AoE button. It doesn't need to be competitive, it just needs to work. Basically. Click 5 crystals, random spawn in Asuna, get mount, win. Do you have to do them all within one reset? Are they all up at once? I'm guessing around this time of year. Hazel and Kitty combo perfect. Oh, she's kind of sleeping outside. Let me see if I can get the rest of my cat in that camera. This is very important to me. That'll do. Okay. I don't think they'll ever do another year like the last year of WoD. Well, we said that after Cataclysm. We said that after Dragon Soul, and then they did it again in WoD. It's been and then well, they did it again in Mob. We had Dragon Soul for a year, and we had Siege of Orgrimmar for a year, and then we had Hellfire Citadel for a year. My hopes aren't high. I will believe that we can have a less than a year long end raid when I see it. I think they're going to try really hard to make that happen. I think they probably have a better chance, and they probably learn from their mistakes, but we'll see exactly how much they've learned from their mistakes on that one. And it's not so much a mistake, it's just something, it's just a consequence of game development and the resources that it takes to make a new expansion. New announcements to come out like August. No official announcement for it yet. August, I think, would be early. I would be surprised to see it in August. I would expect to see it about, yeah, I mean, I guess a year. Maybe in August. Maybe I have no faith. Maybe it's going to be out in, like, spring of 2018, and I'm just a faithless old geezer. Random spawns, you need 5 in one go and be the first in the zone to do it. In random places in like 8 hours. Okay. I don't know where they are though. Like, I feel like in order to try for something like that, I should at the very least have memorized the spawn points. I feel like I should have done that first. Once you click one, the second one spawns, then the third and the fourth. As you click the previous ones, you need to stay in a party while you do the crystal quest and do them all in one go. I'd rather it come out more polished and fun than soon. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Well, to a certain point. I don't want to be like 18 months or anything ridiculous in Antorus, although I won't be. My guild's not going to do that. Like, we're going to raid it until nobody wants to raid anymore, and then we're going to stop until the next expansion comes out, and they're all going to go play whatever it is that they do, whatever the cool game is to play. Like, now they're playing Destiny, before they were playing Path of Exile. My guild always migrates to a different game whenever WoW's not fun for them, and then they come back when the new raid comes out. Hazel, hi Norma, how are you doing? Do you guys have anything fun planned for Late Night's birthday? It's basically impossible to memorize the spawn points because of how many there are. Oh, okay. Handy Notes in the Crystal add-on shows all the possible spawns. I don't want to get Handy Notes back. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with Handy Notes. I just, I had a very cleansing feeling in my spirit when I uninstalled that add-on after Warlords, because you remember how crowded the Warlords map was with all of the Handy Notes treasure stuff? Like the Draenor Treasures module. It was a great thing, and I'm glad they made it, but man, that was some map clutter and a half. Crystals were up on Earth and Ring until my guildie got them out. Dragon Soul and Siege of Orgrimmar were for about 10 months, while Hellfire was out for 14. I'm excited for Antorus, but I'm going to be sad if we get a 10 months plus raid. Were they only 10 months? I could have sworn that at least Siege was a year, but you're probably right. It's been a while, and I haven't been keeping track. I think I would be surprised if Antorus is less than 10 months, just because we don't have a beta yet. And we don't even have an announcement of when a beta is going to be. Maybe the beta will go quicker. Maybe they have like a different style of beta testing in store for us. We don't really know. I can never get out of this place. I never do these quests because I never remember how to leave. And I don't want to hurt out because I'm trying to do the rest of the quests around Ferondis. And this doesn't help. The map does not help. I know I need to get like onto a thing. Is it over here? I'm just going to keep doing laps around this until I figure it out. But yeah, I never come down here for the Wanding quest or for the rune thing. Or even the... There's one more just because... Alright, yeah, it's up here. There we go. I need a little flag. I need a little Hazel Go Here flag just like right at the bottom of that thing because I never remember. Because at the top it's like the same thing. It's a big circular ring and there actually is a door on this end. I made dinner and breakfast for late night. Awesome. A year isn't bad. There's more to do in this game than hours in a day to do them anyways. That is true. And I think that even if we do get stuck with Antorus for a full year, it's not going to be anywhere near as disastrous as being stuck in Hellfire Citadel for a full year. Because there is way, 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 way more to do in Legion than there ever was in Warlords, like, combined. Especially at the end of Warlords, like, once you had collected, like, you know, you got your stables mounts, you got everything you wanted out of the garrison, there was nothing to do. That's why I did PvP in Warlords, was because there was nothing else to do. In Legion, you know, you've got world quests, you've got Paragon mounts to farm, you've got reps to do, it's a great time to level alts, you can go see, like, all of the different, class campaigns if you want on a variety of alts. There's pets to get. There's a bunch of pets to get. There's toys to get. There's just so many more things to do, I feel like, that it won't be that bad. Hey Hazel, how's your Friday doing? Hi. My Friday is going quite well. I'm gonna be recording a vlog after the stream so that I have one up for today because I didn't get it done before stream. I slept in a little bit. Happy Friday. Thank you, Norma. Thanks for the 5. Happy Friday to you too. I need to crank out my lore master and dress up my Barbie doll for transmog. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff to get. I've been working on my appearance sets. Actually, you know what we need to do is we need to go do Girls Lair. This belt will not drop for me. It's supposed to be like a, hang on. It's supposed to be like a 25% drop rate. It's not. There's no way. For me, for the Hazel drop rate cannot be 25% because I've been doing the Girls Lair every week. I should be doing it. You know what I need to do is if I don't get it this week, I need to go take every priest character that I have and park them in front of Girls Lair and then just run it on all my priests. Because I know I have leftover priests from past expansions. Back in the day, that was kind of my thing, was to like re-roll every time I didn't want to. I would never server transfer, and I still don't do that really. I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap to server transfer. Also, they make me pay Canadian dollars now, even though I haven't been in Canada for years and years, and I can't fix it until I get like an immigration thing fixed. So I'm paying in Canadian dollars for anything for a bit. But yeah, I was always too cheap to server transfer, so whenever I wanted to leave a server, I found a guild to play with or just some people to play with in a different server, I would just re-roll. And I that's why I have like a pair of a priest and a hunter on like 5 different servers just from places that I lived before I found my current guild. But yeah, end of expansion is a great time to do things like Lore Master, like the Insane title, finishing your transmog sets, getting your pet collection all fancied up. The end of Warlords was when I finished out my pet collection, like when I got all of my pets leveled to 25, and I also got them all upgraded to rare, and I got, at the time, everything that I could feasibly get, except maybe the Death Watch, actually. Norma ordered my birthday present from Blizz, but I won't get it till the 27th. Well, 27th isn't that long. It's like, what, Monday? No. Yes. No. How do days work? Oh, it is Monday. That's not that long. Oh, you guys want to see the, So this thing, I wasn't sure about this when I first saw it at Blizzard, because I was like, it's like really fluffy cheeks, but I feel like the cheek fluffiness just looked really fluffy in that picture. But you see it's got like the rune on the head, and then you click the foot, and it's like, it's got a light. And the light blinks, and it'll apparently continue to blink for 5 hours, then the battery is dead forever, so I don't actually let it blink very often. Also, it's not very important to me that my Shadow Plush's light blinks. But, you know, it's actually, you know what I haven't done? Let me move my tea so I don't, like, Shadow Plush knock over my tea. But I haven't posed the ears yet. It's got like, wireframe ears in here that you can pose. So I can, like... I don't want to see anything. I'm scared. Cat cam is the best. Cat cam's always a good idea. I wish she would sleep in her cubby again. It's like a really nice, comfy, warm little cubby. And it was very cute because there was a plushie shelf, and then on one shelf there was the cat that was like an actual cat. You need to play a horde? Hi, Hazel. Hi, Chet. I like Alliance a lot. They're right next to my little plushie. Oh boy. Hazel, you're being attacked. Oh, look at that. This is why we wear Pride-Ez. Pride-Ez saves lives. Oh man, for a second I was like looking around my office like, who's hitting me? I thought maybe like the cat or like the dog was chewing on me or something. The dog's got in the habit, like whenever I'm getting dressed to take him out for a walk, he gets so excited because that's just his favorite thing ever. He gets so excited that he starts biting like my shoes and my jacket, and he'll like jump up and just start biting like my sweater as I'm trying to put it on. I'm like, dude, we can't go until I'm wearing this. You gotta chill out, man. And I have him lie down and, like, take some deep breaths before we actually go. It's just really funny. Hi, Hazel. What's up, Bruce? Warcraft's still a thing? Yeah, I think so. It would be very sad if I was still here and everybody else had left, but I'd probably still be playing it. Where is, oh, he's just spawning. One day. If only the lottery worked for me. Classic Priest Shadow, word pain, wand. Wanding was like my favorite thing to do on healers. I was so enthralled with the idea of I can do damage but be mana efficient because you didn't want to spend mana on damage because you would need it for healing. Like running was a very real danger back then, in the good old MP5 days. So I would like have my wand. I probably spent too much time wanding when I should have been healing. That's probably why I wasn't a very good healer. But I was like, oh yeah, look at me doing damage, flinging my little wand. I always had to get the best wand I could possibly find because I had to like really max out that damage. Love that you walk your doggo, so responsible. Every day, sometimes twice a day. That dog would go absolutely nuts. Like on the very, very, very rare day where he doesn't get a walk, which is, I think there was like 1 or 2 back when my foot was injured where I couldn't walk him because I literally couldn't walk him. And he just gets so antsy. He needs the super exercise. And it's a good habit to get into because then maybe one day if I ever get an additional dog that is like when I get another dog one day, I kind of want it to be an active breed, like a collie or like a retriever or something, and those also need a lot of exercise, so we're all set. Do you have plans to do Project 60 or Project 70? Nah, not me. Everybody else can have a blast. I'm very happy for them. They can knock themselves out. Not it though. Not it. I can barely bring myself to, well, not barely bring myself, but I barely have time to keep up with my level 110 character. I don't know about the 60 thing. Plus, I don't have any nostalgia at all for past expansions. I don't think if I could go back in time, if I could literally go back in time, I might go back to Cataclysm and start over again, because if I went back to Cataclysm, I would probably put more time into PvP back then. Like, I PvP'd in Cata, but just, like, very casually. Just, like, a super, super terrible 2's Resto Druid on Horde side, like a troll. So I'd probably PvP more seriously. I would probably start my YouTube channel earlier, because I didn't start until MOP. I started in, like, summer of 2013, and if I'd started, like, 2 or 3 years before then and really put some time in, that would have been good to get a bit of a head start in that. And, yeah. Are you questing? Yeah, I couldn't really think of anything good to do today. Actually, I'm gonna open up a Ferranda's cache. So I'm assuming that once I've done, with the 23% rep, once I've done the world quests that are available, and then I turn in the Kirin Tor emissary, and with that I get a Ferranda's token. That should get us a chest. And maybe we'll be lucky enough to get a Hippogriff on stream. It's highly unlikely, but it could happen. It could happen. And then I want to swing by Girl's Lair to see if I can get that belt, because it's been like, look at all this blue on either side of that belt. Look at all of those finished sets, and right here it's just 6 of 7 belt from Girl's Lair. There is a profession one. Like, if I could find a belt of the long road, then I could wear that. But I checked in the Undermine journal, and I think it's been like almost a year since there's been one on Lightbringer, and I don't have tailoring anymore, so I can't even like go try and farm the recipe and farm the materials. Him being part Husky. Joker is an Alaskan Klekai. They probably were originally bred from Huskies, but they've been their own breed for a while, and they're a very high energy breed. He actually, his personality is very Husky like. Makes me sad seeing dogs like Australian Shepherds stuck in an apartment. Those breeds need around 6 hours of exercise per day. Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't want something like that until I have a yard. Like, I feel bad not having a yard for Joker, but he does alright because we do give him a lot of exercise. He just sleeps during the day. But you were just waxing nostalgically about wanting. That is true. You are absolutely true. I've contradicted myself horribly. I don't want to wand again though. I just enjoy the memory of me doing it back then. I don't want a new wand. Although I don't heal anymore either. I have since come to understand that healing is great for other people. PvE healing, I should be specific. Raid healing is fantastic for other people. Raid healing is not for me. I've finally, it took me a long time to figure that out, because back when I was very, very, very scared of people, and I'm still kind of am, but back when I was like super scared of people, I always wanted to play a role where I had a greater chance of being socially accepted, and everybody needed healers, and they still do. So healing was a good choice to make for somebody that was new to the game, that was trying real hard to make friends. And now I already have friends, and they know that I don't heal, so I don't have to. I'm with Hazel on that. Yeah, did it once, don't want to do it again. I'm glad it happened. I just don't want to go back. Hazel, I got a Void Talon mount today. Grats! That's really exciting. That's one I've never tried to farm. One of my guildies back in Warlords was doing that, and it sounded so terrible that I just didn't want to. Found 4 crystals so far, only more to find. Nice. You want to do the battle for Undercity again? I didn't understand the lore in that moment, and it was such an important moment. I missed that. That would have been cool to see. Although, from the sounds of it, we're probably going to get a new Battle for Undercity. It's just a different one. It's a different one with a different outcome. Looms are expensive. They are. But as far as I'm like, the way I see it, anything that you're spending gold on that is a permanent upgrade to your account is probably a good idea. That's how I spend my gold. I never really feel bad about spending gold on pets, mounts, toys, or even Mog now, because once you have it, your account has forever gained that value. Like, you can't lose it anymore. So I have always spent gold very freely on pets. I have the Celestial Calf, and I don't regret it one bit. Easiest million gold I ever spent. So I don't worry too much about heirlooms. I definitely don't get all of them just for the sake of getting them anymore. I used to do that, but now that they are quite expensive to get upgraded all the way, what I do is I just, whenever I'm leveling a new character through Legion, I will, at the time, upgrade the current set that I need for that character. I don't do them all ahead of time. Raid healing is relaxing. I definitely see how it could be relaxing. Also, fire drops. You're my pal in, you're, unless it's a really crazy coincidence, but I'm pretty sure that you are my pal in Animal Crossing. And you've been buying my market box stuff, and it makes me feel good. Looms cells are cheap. It's the upgrades that get you. True. Absolutely true. Tanking is my joy, but guilds are never recruiting for them. Always tends to be the guild leaders and officers, and they're locked in. Yeah. Tanking suffers from this awkward spot of being, not that many people do it, and you cannot really flex it. You must have 2 tanks, but you can't really have more than 2 tanks. And 2 is not really that big of a number for a guild, so... I'm sure, like, once you have a good spot as a tank, you're set. Like, you're set for life. They're gonna hang on to you with both hands. But until you find that, it's tough. I enjoy PvP healer. Nice, huge raids. PvP healing, for me, is much more exciting than PvE healing. I'm kind of like the opposite. In PvP, I cannot do damage. I could if I really wanted to, and I tried, but it would be the worst thing ever. Like, I've back in Warlords, I used to do, like, really, really, really low-rated 3s on, like, my Hunter or my Warrior, and it was fun because I would drink and I would just have fun, but I have no idea what's going on. For whatever reason, my awareness when I'm playing a DPS is just terrible. I'm just, like, hitting them. Well, they're not dead. They're still not dead. They're not dead. Oh, I'm dead. Whoops-a-daisies. I just have a better understanding of the game when I'm healing on a 3's healer. Love me some raid healing. Holy dismay. You have insane shadow gear. My friend was doing with Shadow Mage Tower. It was even smoother than doing his own. Too bad. I'm absolute garbage at it. Oh no. Shadow's not terribly hard. Shadow's always kind of been my jam, though. I have a special place in my heart for Shadow Priest. How do you get the bush chicken and turkey from the Pilgrims event? For the turkey, you need to do the Pilgrims meta achievement. So go ahead in your achievement journal, search the word Pilgrim, and you will find an achievement, or you can also go in the world events section and Pilgrim's Bounty here. You want to do these achievements here. You don't need it for the long strange trip, but if you do all of these achievements, and most of them are very easy, if you do all these achievements, then you will get the Pilgrim title and the Pilgrim's Turkey pet. Now, the bush chicken is a 3% drop from the Pilgrim's Bounty bag that you can get as a reward for doing the Pilgrim's Bounty cooking dailies. So go to the capital cities, pick up the cooking dailies, and those are very easy to do. You don't need a lot of cooking skill. You make them with vendor food that you get from the different cities. And then when you turn in those quests, if you get the Pilgrim's Bounty cash, that has a very low chance to drop bush chicken. Or you can do what I did and get really frustrated with that and then buy it with gold, because it is cageable. The bush chicken is a cageable pet. What am I doing? I can't find any bear livers at all. Probably because I'm looking for them on the ground. That's a terrible idea. Where are the bears? Where are my bears at? Oh, I found a bear. Is playing Legion even any fun? I think it's fun. Playing WoW is always less to do with the game and more to do with who you're playing with, why you're playing, and what kind of goals that you've set for yourself. I think WoW is such a theme park that if you don't have anything that you want from it, if you're not really all that interested, you're going to play and have a terrible time. But if you want to collect a thing, you want to maybe improve your WoW progress score, maybe you want to improve your Warcraft pet score, maybe you really want to find a guild of people and raid with them twice a week. Like, if you have a goal, or you have an activity and people to play with, then I think you can have a great time. For a stream for me, you're an awesome YouTuber. Thanks, Brad. Going on vacation next week, and I'm considering on starting a healer. Definitely worth a go. I think that everybody has a calling in WoW. A lot of people are really good at flexing between different roles, and that's great. But I feel like everybody has one role that once they've really tried it and they've really found the right spec to play it in, just like that's just what they are, you know, on the inside. Part of the problem is content has gotten so small for tanks and healers. You used to do 25 man, then breaks down into 10 man to run the content again, and now it's just one run. Content is small for tanks and healers. Yeah, I would agree with that. PvE healing stresses me out. You're responsible for me and my damage. As a healer, I'm responsible for everyone. Yeah. The thing, like, the draw for me in raiding, there's two reasons why I like raiding and why I still do it. The first reason is the social aspect of having a regular night where I talk to other people, which is really important to me, and, you know, hanging out with my friends. And the other reason I like raiding is I like, as a DPS, trying to optimize my DPS, like trying to do everything that I can to do more damage. And at the end of a fight, I can look at my details, I can look at my log, and I can say, I didn't get as many Mind Blasts as I did before, or I didn't get as many Void Torrents, or I didn't spend as much time in Void form, or I need to do this better, or maybe I did a lot more damage when I did the adds in this way instead of this way. Like, I like that iterative process of doing a fight over and over and over again, and finding the best way to do it, and then doing really cool damage. Like, just topping meters is what makes raiding fun for me. It's very similar to playing Dark Souls, which is kind of the other thing that I really like doing in gaming, where you are failing over and over and over again, but every time that you do it, you get feedback on what you did wrong and what you can try and do better, and you keep at it until you figured out how to do it better, and then when you finally kill that boss, and then later when you kill it in, like, soul level 1 wearing a potato on your head, you feel like just the best person ever, and I really like that validation. Happy Pilgrim's Bounty, Hazel. Happy Pilgrim's Bounty, Spicecraft. She did a video on that with more information. I found out that I had neither. Hazel, I have found all 5 crystals. If you want them out, I can invite you. Sure. You're going to have to walk me through where they are, Anthony, but if you want to invite me, I am Hazel on Lightbringer. I will type it in chat. Hazel on Lightbringer. I am Alliance North America, and I would love to follow you around and click on crystals to get them out. I don't know where any of them are, so yeah, I'm going to need some real hand-holding. But, I mean, you said you found them, so. Mine is melee. My guild has a lot of people whose hearts tell them to be melee. We're a little melee heavy. Your guides and streams are well done and explained. Thank you for all the info and research you do in pre-patch. Really helps me as a raid leader. Thank you for watching them, Chris. I'm really, actually, I'm gonna focus a little bit. So I'm gonna fly over to Anthony over here. I've been really touched and overwhelmed by the response that I've gotten to those raid guides, and I think that I'm probably going to continue doing them. It's a lot of stress doing the raid testing, especially because I'm really terrified of people, and having to get into a pug raid testing group where I am trying to raid as a healer, which I don't normally play, with people that I don't know and content that I don't know how to do, stresses the heck out of me, but I think it was worth it. I think that those guides are going to be worth it. I can't raid, I don't have that much extra time in a chunk. It is definitely a huge time commitment, and it's like a consistent time commitment. So not only do you need to have the time, but you need to have the time at the same time, week after week after week, and that's definitely not something everybody can manage. Cool. Okay, so I click on the thing. Oh, they're big. Okay, and I'm just gonna hop on. Grandmaster Lila. I love the Sandstone Drake. I think the colors are hideous, don't get me wrong, but I actually ground out when they first came out with that. I was so excited by the fact that I could get an archaeology flying mount that I farmed out the recipe for it. There we go. I clicked that, right? Yeah. It took me a long time, but and then I crafted it, and with all like, it was pretty expensive vendor materials. I think it still kind of is. And I was just so excited about it. And I'm like, this is just the ugliest thing. How do you get that mount? The mount that he is, or the mount that I'm looking for? Because this mount is a crafted archaeology item. It is BOE, so once it's been crafted, you can just buy them on the auction house, but it's going to be fairly expensive. If you want to craft it yourself, you need to do 12-year archaeology, and you need to get, there's a jar. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but there's a jar item, and the jar item has a chance to contain the recipe for that mount. So you have to get the jar item project to pop, and then you have to keep doing that until one of those jars drops you the recipe for the Vial of the Sands. And then once you have the recipe, you can buy the vendor materials, which are pretty expensive, and you can craft it. My raid team loves your raid guides. Whenever you post a video, I post it in Discord and we gush about them together. Spend the whole raid checking out the boss's booty, though. I mean, true. I've noticed as I've continued making raid guides, it's a lot easier for me to edit if I leave my camera still. So I'll try and do the raid while moving my camera as little as possible, which is easier said than done. And I definitely have a lot better to get at it. But if I'm ever like staring at a thing, that's probably why. Went to make coffee, only had hazelnut flavor. Coincidence? Hazelnut coffee is the best kind of coffee. If you're gonna have flavor in your coffee, hazelnut is like up there. Back when I was in Canada, if I was having a Tim Hortons ice cap in the summer, I probably wouldn't do it so much anymore because I can't. Sugary drinks like that are just really rough on my teeth. But hazelnut was, in my opinion, the superior ice cap flavor. Is this 5? Was it? Maybe that was 4. There we go. Go Hazel, go! Green teapot. Canopic jar. Thank you. That is what is it called. A canopic jar. Canopic? 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 I have no idea how to pronounce that. Not the Sandstone Drake, the one you were on, the Ray Mount. Oh. The mana rays, like the ones that are kind of like a butterfly, but they look like they're made from rubber. Those are a drop from the fell-spotted eggs. And you get fell-spotted eggs off of Panthara rare mounts on Argus. And they're not really that rare, but there's going to be a couple of them, hopefully, up at any given time. You can kind of find out which one is up by looking through the group finder groups to see if there's any groups up. But it's Varga. I don't remember their names. I know Varga is the one in the Antoran Wastes. Narua is the one in Crocun. And then up in Macquarie, there's 2 of them. And they have a pretty good chance, like a 50 or a 30% chance to give you the egg. And then the egg can give you pets. The egg can give you mounts. And the egg can also give you HDO cat. Kind of like a throwback to the green Proto-Drake grind. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. This is so cool. Yay! Thank you so much. Let me type that like a bunch of times. Woo! So can I just get on it now? I just have it? I receive item Reigns of the Long Forgotten Hippogriff. Oh, feels so good. I was never going to do that on my own. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, Anthony. Oh, Reigns? Oh, no, that's not what it's called. Long Forgotten? That's the one. There it is. Ooh. Also, I'm very glad. I forgot to ask, but I'm very glad that you already have it. Because I would feel bad if you're getting it from me before yourself. Canopic. It's the Canopic operator. Okay. Ice caps for the win. Yeah. Oh, this is so cool. It's purple like me. I'm purple. It is. I need a purple mog now for it. I love that. That's awesome. See, now I really want the Ferrandas one, because then I'll be like, I think that's is that the last hippogriff I need? Hippogriffs. Let me see, because I have a lot of hippogriffs. Oh no, I need 2 more. So the Cloudwing hippogriff, that is the Court of Ferrandas rep one, the Emissary Paragon cash rep mount. That was hard to say. And then the Layfeather hippogriff is from Glory of the Legion Hero. There's something that I haven't done. That's the kind of thing I like to go back and do like 4 expansions later. But I have the rest of them. Including this one now. Cool. I like the hippogriffs a lot. Ooh, I'm now in the thousands of nuts. I'm catching up to Norma. You can do it. You can do it. I'm going to see if the crystals are back up. Awesome. Okay. Let's finish off the world quests. How close are we? So we need to do one more Kirin Tor one in order to get the Kirin Tor cache. I have 20 minutes left of my Spirit of Sharing buff. I need to keep an eye on that because I have a really bad habit of forgetting and then it falls off and then I just don't notice. Oh yeah, I need 2 more bear livers. I can't believe I didn't finish getting the bear livers. Now I'm jelly. What are the chances of us organizing a viewer conga line to get those? Silver Moon. That must be, I mean, maybe not, but that must be a lower population server in order for them to all be up at this time of day when Hazel ignores you. Oh, hi, Nico. I missed it. Let me scroll up. I'm sorry. Oh, hi, Hazel. Did you see the awesome meme that I emailed? Yeah, I did see the meme. I did see it. I showed it to my husband because I didn't get it at first. I was like looking at it and then I had to watch the cinematic again and then I got it, but it was pretty good. Okay, so here we go. Layfeather is awesome, not very hard at all, with self-made groups who listen. Oh, for the Glory of the Legion Hero. Well, depending on how long we get stuck in, Legion before Battle for Azeroth comes out, and, you know, how hard up I end up for stuff to do during raid, maybe we can organize viewer groups for those. Like, what do I actually have to do? Let me see. Legion Hero. Dungeon hero? No, I did that. Wrong one. Actually, let me get my bear livers. I'm never gonna remember. Oh, there we go. 2 bear livers. Done. Cool. So what do we have to do? Well, not that one. Glory of the Legion Hero. So I have like, what, 1/3 of them? I wish that, oops, I've clicked on the wrong one. Legion Dungeon. So just these ones, I'm assuming. Defeat Lady Hatecoil after destroying 11 or more salty globules with a single curse of the witch. Okay, so that's easy. You just don't damage her. You let them stack up, and then you dispel a curse on them. That seems easy enough as long as you've got a group that knows what you're doing. Defeat Dressaron after slaying the Hate Spawn Abomination. I don't know what that is, so I'd have to look that one up. Shade of Xavius, while he has 10 stacks. I don't know how to do that either. Apocalyptic Empowerment. I guess you just wait. That's probably one where you just wait. Use the Ketchum tablet to acquire implants of all the named snails. What the heck? How do I have 3 of those? What are they? Snail imprints. I've never heard of that. That's hilarious, though. Defeat Neuraxis after she gains 6 stacks of Neuraxis. Which boss is Neuraxis? Oh, the worm. 6 stacks of Ravenous. Do you need to let her eat people for that? Silver Moon is a fairly low pop server? Gotcha. Anyone else from Shu Halo? Am I the only one? Curious, what hot tea you like to drink that still tastes good at room temperature? Ooh, I don't think I have one that tastes good at room temperature. I always heat them up. I always either drink them hot, or if it cools off, I'll reheat it. They're all, actually, you know what? You know what? Some of the green teas, some of the like really delicate green teas, are really good hot, and they're also good iced. Like once it's cooled down, it's still okay, just in a different way. But I don't do that very often. Not sure if you had your opinion out there or not, but do you feel they should do a rollback on the bronze-tinted sunglasses to be a seasonal thing? Do a rollback. You mean like be available every year? Because they might be available every year. Or do you mean like they should only be moggable during the anniversary event? Or are they only moggable during the anniversary event and they should make them moggable all the time? I guarantee there's a video on YouTube for each. For the achievements. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I currently play an Oldham after playing on Moonguard for about 3 years. I feel like I'm in a ghost town. I've never had that experience of being stuck in a low pop server, just because I always re-roll. That is the other thing, is, I mean, obviously you have a lot of history with the character, but you don't have to really lose much when you recreate a character now. So if you were playing in a low pop server, and you really have your eye on one of the new allied races, for example, Battle for Azeroth might be a good chance for you to start over. Like, obviously you can't, it's harder to move, like, your gold. You can kind of move gold. Like, you get battle pets with your gold, and then you sell those battle pets to your new server, and that'll let you transfer some of it. But you are also going to get a boost. I believe you get a level 110 boost for free with your purchase, like with your pre-order of Battle for Azeroth when that eventually comes out. So, obviously leaving everything behind instead of server transferring is not great, but it's not like you're losing your mount collection. It's not like you're losing your pets or your titles or your achievements or your transmog. So it's something that I'm okay with doing. Obviously, it's a very individual and personal choice. Neuraxis will gnaw on your bones. True. Took me a minute. Earl Grey is good room temp. I need to try Earl Grey again. I need to give Earl Grey another chance. As a teenager, I tried a variety of English teas, and I decided that English breakfast was the superior type of tea, and that Earl Grey tasted like pepper, and I didn't like it. And that was probably like 12 to 15 years ago, and I should probably give it another chance. Anxiety achievements, love-hate relationship. They're only moggable during the anniversary event now. Aw. Eh. I guess it's fine. Yeah. That's a little bit disappointing. I don't have a huge problem with it, but it's still a little sad. Laystone ore. I don't have any of that. It's probably cheap though, yeah? I might buy some. Oh, there's another. I'm so happy that I can do all 3 of my Kirin quests without having to leave the zone. Let's do Enigmatic. I'm going to ignore you guys while I do this, because otherwise I will never do this right. And I may still do this wrong just because pressure. But I got pretty good. At first trying them. So now that I've said that, I've jinxed it, and it's going to take me like 6 tries each. Alright, officially ignoring you guys. So forward, 4, left 2, back 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 2. All right. Forward 2, 2. Okay. Do. Bam. That's talent. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. You don't like pepper? Actually, that's a good point. I don't have a problem with pepper. I just didn't want tea that tasted like pepper. I enjoy pepper. If I'm ever eating eggs, I will put pepper on my eggs. Yeah, I don't know what my problem is. They should make them moggable all the time. It's not a super important issue to me because I'm probably not going to wear them anyways. I've never been a goggles person, but they are really cool looking. It's a little bit sad that you can't wear them all the time. I thought they could. I'm pretty sure that in my video I either said or implied that they could be worn all the time, so if that's not true, that's a bit sad. I'm going to see if I can zoom into my cat. I'm going to, like, open this up. Get a little zoom, and then adjust. There we go. There we go. That's the dream right there. No boosts for the allied race armor. True, yes. If you are looking for the heritage armor, you cannot boost that character. You're going to want to level it from scratch, which is what I'm planning on doing. I need to see, before I make a final decision, I need to see the Void Elf animations. I need to see I need to hear their voice lines. I need to hear their emotes and voice lines, which is the silliest gosh darn thing, because I never play with sound in a way that, like, I never hear the emotes or voice lines. But I know that the Blood Elf laugh, just like the female Blood Elf laugh, just gets to me. And if Void Elves laugh in the same way, then it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a really silly problem, but it's gonna be a problem. The shades are seasonal, the new ones, apparently. I hope they add some of the Suramar NPC sets for the Nightborn, because the one they previewed is ugly. I didn't think that the set they previewed is ugly, but I do think that you're right, the NPC Nightborn sets. I was a little sad that we didn't get more of the... I'll show you. Hang on, let me do this. Actually, this isn't gonna take me very long. I was surprised that they didn't give us access in the Nighthold to more of the Nightborn appearance armor. Like, I think we got some of it, but for the most part, those sets didn't really... Like, my Nighthold set, for example, as a priest, it looks like this. I don't think anybody in the Nighthold, any of the elves, were walking around looking like that. I should hang on. This guy's gonna, this hippogriff is gonna mess me up. Thanks for the great content. Thanks for the 5 talents, Southway. Appreciate that. Going to level 1 of each Alliance ally race just to unlock their heirloom transmog. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have the character slots for it, so there's no real reason why not. There always seems to be at the end of an expansion some reason why it's beneficial to have alts. Even Legion, I wasn't sure if it was gonna happen in Legion for a while, but now in Legion, if you have alts, it can be pretty good. For example, every time there is a Mark of Honor world quest, which is not very often, but every time I find on my map somewhere a world quest that rewards like 4 Marks of Honor, just double checking. Okay, none up right now, but just in general. I will take all of my level 110 characters through it, and you know, I have probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 of those now. I haven't really been counting. And, you know, you get enough for a couple different pieces of, a couple different sets, a couple different PvP sets, and that's why I now have most of the PvP sets. Not all of them. I am missing the Season 9 gear, because I think this is not my favorite set. I am not in a big hurry to get that. And then I just need to get that one. And then, of course, the Legion stuff I don't think we can get with Marks of Honor just yet. What am I doing? Bacon. If the dance sucks, I'm not playing it, right? Right? These are all very important questions that we need to find out before we can really commit. Void Elves giving Alliance an option. Totally reusing Belf models. I mean, a lot of the models are very much sort of recycled, and with the amount of allied races we're getting, I don't have a problem with that. I think that it would have been very, very ambitious for them to make a whole, like six new races. There's so much work that goes into doing new races with animations and models and making all the armor fit, that if they're going to recycle a little bit to make us get more of them in one expansion, I'm totally fine with that. Totally on board. Those sets are awesome. The ones that we get are so ugly. Yeah, but I was hang on. I was gonna take a look. Like the boss models for like a L'Oreal. Like did anybody get any of that? Because that stuff was so cool. Like those shoulders are awesome. They're like they're almost like the Siege of Orgrimmar shoulders, or like the shoulders that we got in the following raid, except that they're cooler. And then, you know, we've got like, well, okay, he's like a tree dude, that's not fair. But like Star Augur stuff, Elyson stuff. Nobody has that, right? Am I dumb? Did I miss it? It's entirely possible. Hazel, I just joined. Please say one of your awesome highs to me. Hi, Hellstrong. How are you doing today? You can get the Cruel Glad sets now, just not the 5, 6, 7 sets. Cruel Glad sets. Let me see what you're talking about. Oh, this stuff with Marks of Honor. Can I get the combatant stuff? Because this is cool. Like, I want that set. I would wear that around. I would wear it like with the shoulders. Like, I love how simple that is, and yet it's still really cool. I think I wear the recolors of that robe in some of my sets. One of my transmog sets. Let me show you. One of my sets is just like a really, really stripped down. Yeah, I like wearing the purple version of that robe just with no shoulders because I really like the off-shoulder look. Okay, where am I going? That's a dungeon, Laystone Ore. So let's go back to Dalaran. I'm not even gonna hurt there. Dalaran's like right somewhere. There it is. It's right up there. No problem. Are gold quests worth it in the Legion Hall? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Being able to 200% a gold mission gives you like 2750 gold, like almost 3000 gold. And on an average day, I can send out about 2 of those. So that's, you know, about 5k gold per day per character that's set up like that. Obviously, you need order resources in order to do it, so it's not super feasible to do it on like a ton of characters, but it's great. Say hi to me. I got you, Hellstrong. We did. My main is a human, and I can't stand her dance. You're not into the Macarena? It's such a super cheesy classic. You can get the combatant stuff. I use the pants because they're one of the only solid black cloth pants that don't look like butts. Oh man, you feel me. You feel me in my inability to wear pants that look like butts. And Dalaran, interesting. I don't have the Marks of Honor for it right now. I'm saving those. Actually, I have some on my druid from when I was doing 2s, but I need to save those so that when, and I'm not 100% clear on this, but when the season rolls over, now that I have the 2k achievement, I know I can buy the appearances of the elite set. I don't remember how I buy it. I think I buy it with Marks of Honor. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm saving them just in case it's Marks of Honor. I should know that. I've done it before. Greater Court of Ronda's Insignia. Good. And I have both buffs. Buff number 1, buff number 2, 23%. And boom. Quest accepted. Supplies from the court. Alright, everybody cross something. Like your fingers or like a pencil or something. I guess we gotta go all the way back there. Should I bring them Laystone Ore just in case? I don't want to go shopping. I'm lazy. The human male dance is at least tolerable. I like most dances in this game. I like most of them. I'm trying to think if there's any of the dances that I'm not a big fan of. The Tauren one could be better. It's fine, but it's not anything crazy. Same goes for the dwarf one. Like, it's neat and it's cool, and I get where they've taken it from, but it's very much like a cultural, like, historical dance, and that's neat. But it's a lot of when a lot of races got like pop culture dances, somehow those seem just shinier. My 12 alts bring me 30 to 50k gold every day just from order hall missions. How do you get the order resources for that? Are you trading Bloods of Honor? Are you trading Bloods of Sargeras for them, or do you just play them all? Because I always run out of order resources for it. The dance animations all need updates. You think they're ever going to give us a dance to view? They might. I never hang on to Bloods of Sargeras. This is about as many as I've ever had. And that's because whenever I get a good chunk of them, I just spend them on mats at the Blood of Sargeras trader, and I sell the mats for gold. I just like cashing them in for gold. I'm holding on to them right now because I'm assuming that once the raid comes out, that the price of Arcana, the enchanting dust, is probably going to go up. And I want to capitalize on that by selling a bunch of it. Big bunches of dust. Female goblins for the win. Yeah, the female goblin one, the male goblin one, the panda dances. Don't get me wrong. Pandas are tough to play for me just because it's just not one of the races that I tend to play all the time. But their dances rule. Pandas have super cool dances. All right, here we go. Drum roll. Drum roll. Nope. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. Oh no, it wasn't. Never mind. How did I have a furnace chest? Anyways, neither one of those chests had what I wanted. I'm convinced that for the last two, the drop rate is just ridiculous. Like 30 to 50 chests will be needed for that. I don't know if I'm going to play that long. I kind of want a Gangnam Style dance. Yeah, I could get on board with some K-pop dances. Gangnam Style is old though. Like, Gangnam Style is old. I feel like their moment for that is probably past. If they put a BTS dance into WoW, they would get so many people trying out the game that I've never ever looked at WoW before in their entire lives. What is your favorite ice cream? So my favorite like classic flavor is mint chocolate chip, but I will pretty much get on board with anything that has a mix of like caramel and nuts and sometimes chocolate or like fudge in it. Anything that's like some super decadent mix of like caramel, nuts, chocolate, and fudge. Doesn't have to be all of those things, but the caramel and the nuts are pretty important. I am all about that life. All right, well that was a bit of a bust. Let's do some while we're just doing world quests and hanging out. I know this is probably not the most entertaining stream to watch gameplay wise, but I like doing the laid back thing where I just kind of chat with you guys. And we got a long forgotten hippogriff. Female pandas already do K-pop, no more. I thought the female pandas do the I thought it was a J-pop one. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Female panda. This is very important to me. Was it not? Oh yeah, it's Caramel Dansen, which is from anime. That's Japanese. It's not Korean. It's a very important difference. Orcs have MC Hammer. That was old in 2004. True. Macarena was old. Is BTS your jam? I mean, I'm not like a hardcore army or anything, but I can dig. I can get down. I've been listening to their latest album a lot, actually. Actually, have you guys seen, any of you that are into K-pop at least, have any of you seen, they did, they had Steve Aoki remix Mic Drop from their last album, and they put out a music video today, and I was pretty much about that. That was pretty cool. I was on board. What am I doing? Oh, we're going to Argus, that's right. Love mint, so good. Yeah. I like a good mint tea, too. Like, whenever I did Christmas dinner at my grandparents' house in Canada, or like any big holiday meal there, like a Thanksgiving or something, after everybody has been just like absolutely stuffed with food, just so much food, because you always have so much food, and then they like bring out dessert and you're like, oh man, I should have remembered this. You have a ton of food and everybody's like super full, and you're just all kind of sitting around the table talking, and the adults are drinking wine, which I never did even after I became an adult because it was weird. And my grandmother would just make this huge pot of mint tea, and for whatever reason, just sipping on the hot mint tea like helped sort of like it. I don't know if it's good for digestion, but it felt like it was good for digestion, and it was just a very lovely thing. So whenever I'm tired or like really full, I have to make mint tea. I always keep it around. Macarena's like 90s, true. Hi, how are you? Hi, Jack. I am doing quite well. How are you doing? The male Draenei is the best dance? Yes, the Tunak male Draenei dance is amazing. It's such a male Draenei in particular, just like. It's good stuff. It's so good. My favorite of the male races, for sure. What am I doing? Oh, I have too many of these things. Do I have enough of the thingy doodle to do the doodly thing? I do. Let's go buy a trinket. Let's go buy trinket number 988 and see if it's any good. Have you ever been in New Zealand, Hazel? I have not, Fiona. I have never been out of North America. I've only ever been to the east coast of North America once. I went to Toronto once. Actually, that's not true. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Florida twice. And aside from that, I've always stayed in the Pacific Northwest. I've never even been to California. I definitely do not travel much. I would love to see Europe, and I would love to see East Asia, and I would love to see Australia and New Zealand. Although, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit afraid of the wildlife because I've been told by the internet that it's scary there. There's so many places that I would really love to see, and I'm hoping that I get to do that when I'm older. But my lifestyle's never been super conducive to traveling. I like my cats and plants too much. Alright, let's get one of these things. There we go. Create trinket. Get out of here. Go home. Go away. Go be a chaos crystal. We're not wearing that. We're not. Will you be trying Project 60 when it's out? Not for me. Not for me. You love the Blizzard store, but it won't let me buy a physical authenticator. Guess they don't like money. Oh no! Do they not offer those anymore? I wouldn't be surprised if they phased them out, just because I feel like most people use the smartphone authenticator now. But yeah. Aoki did a decent job. I'm not much of a BTS fan myself, though. I actually liked... Normally, I don't like remixes more than the original song, but in that particular case, I think he did a good job of taking what was harder to listen to the first couple times about the original mic drop and kind of toning those down while still keeping the theme of the song. I thought the music video was well done, and then it took me a while to realize that they'd added extra English lines. They definitely added extra English lines for this version. I thought it was good. I'd advise you, don't come to Australia. Everything will try to kill you. Coming from an Australian, you know, I'm scared. One of my buddies, he used to be one of my Twitch mods, was Australian, and like last week he snaps me a picture and was like, "This is behind my computer monitor. What am I do? I think I'm gonna die." And it's the hugest spider I've ever seen. Like, how do you function? Like, we have pretty big spiders here, but nothing like that. Nothing crazy like that. I hear that. It's why I want a physical one. Gotcha. Nature is scary almost every place. I guess so. I guess it's just, like, it would probably be, like... Let me organize my thoughts. Nature from places that I'm not from would probably be more scary to me because I'm not used to it. Like, the things that were scary about nature growing up, like... So I grew up in Canada, so the things that are scary about nature in the place where I am from Canada was, it wasn't a super huge danger or anything, but you wanted to be aware of things like bears and cougars. We had at least a couple of cougar scares at, like, my elementary school where there was just a cougar, like, wandering around because it was, you know, there's cougars there. So bears and cougars, so basically the way you deal with that is if you're going hiking in the woods, you just make a lot of noise, and if they know you're there, then they probably won't mess with you, and if you meet one, you know, you just want to know what to do if you meet one. I've forgotten by now, but I know there's one of them that you want to yell at, and there's one of them that you want to not yell at, and you definitely don't run away. But basically just make a lot of noise, and it's fine. I was never terribly, like, traumatized by the thought of meeting a bear or a cougar. But, you know, I've also never lived in a place with, like, super poisonous snakes or scorpions. I've never lived in a place with tornadoes. I lived in a place with earthquakes, but when you grow up with it, you kind of get used to the idea of something. When you don't grow up with it, it's scary. Very scary. I guess I should do one more invasion point for that quest, huh? Did you do any shopping today, Hazel? Not a single bit. Not a single bit. And I am so happy about that. Because, one, I'm trying to save money. I know I just bought 2 WoW plushies, but I'm trying to, generally speaking, save money. And secondly, before I did YouTube full-time, my last job that I had before YouTube was retail. I used to work retail in a big box electronics store. It was commission. I used to sell computers and help people design, like, their, like, order computer parts and whatever. And it was in Canada, so technically Black Friday wasn't a thing, but by the last year they had caught on to Black Friday, and they were doing it in addition to Boxing Day, so you would have 2 of these crazy sale days. And I am so relieved that I don't work retail anymore, especially on Black Friday and then Boxing Day. Because the day after a holiday, I can stay home, I can sleep in, and I just don't ever want to go back there. I was a little, not traumatized, but it's very, you know, when you're working retail on a Black Friday, at least where I was, you would have to get there at like 3 or 4 in the morning. You would work nonstop until 10 or 11 at night on a sales floor, constantly running around, constantly fielding phone calls and getting things for people and trying to sell things and people and trying to, like, sell somebody a warranty that they don't want when they're just trying to be out the door and you've got 36 people in a line behind them. It was just a very stressful, long day. And I will be very happy to never leave my house on Black Friday ever again. I have a fun earthquake story from Canada. Oh, shoot. Not fun hearing a rattler going. Oh, no. Someone who grew up in Oregon, do not walk through tall grass anywhere outside of the valley. Are there rattlesnakes out here? Although, having said, I don't really walk through tall grass. I do walk adjacent to tall grass in one part of my walks, but the snakes that I see have been fairly benign snakes. Yo, bears. We would sing, my friends and I would go hiking, we would all sing Disney songs, because everybody knew the Disney songs, so if we were going on a big, like, hike way out in the wilderness, everybody would sing, like, Mulan really loud. It was very fun. Do you use tidy plates? Not anymore. I used to use tidy... Wait, maybe I do. What? Oh, no, I use KUI nameplates. I used to use tidy plates. Tidy plates are great. There was one period in tidy plates history, sometime during Hellfire Citadel, where they just were not functioning correctly, and during that time I switched over to KUI nameplates, and I just never went back. I just like KUI nameplates a lot. You're preparing for a co-op job interview at your school. There was a pretty big earthquake that shook everything up pretty bad. First real quake I ever went through. I have the biggest earthquake that ever happened while I lived in Canada, I slept through. I completely slept through. Everybody was like there was a bunch of stuff knocked off all the shelves. Everybody was freaking out. Social media was just like blowing up over it, and I completely missed it. I was asleep. We have sharks here. I don't think yelling at them works. What if you like punch it? I mean, if sharks were a real danger, I'd probably just stay out of the water. I'm from Europe too. Nothing gonna kill you here, that's for sure. There's always, like, whenever there's a big wilderness danger, it's usually not very high on the list of things that is going to kill you. It's just something that is, like, publicized and scary. You're almost certainly more likely to die in a car accident. I think most people are. We have boars, but they're not that dangerous. Bears and wolves are so rare that they don't really count. That's kind of what it was like with cougars and bears. And honestly, cougars and bears, obviously, if you get in a fight with one, you're, like, toast. But even if you see one, it doesn't mean that you're gonna fight with it. Like, it doesn't mean that it's gonna immediately try and eat you. Obviously, if you see a bear and then you see some bear babies, you want to get out of there. But if you just see a bear and it's, hi bear, and you know, don't go throwing stuff at it, you might be okay. You might die, but it's not a guarantee. Lots of rattlesnakes. Good to know. Good to know. Boxing Day. Boxing Day is it's like Black Friday. It's celebrated in Canada and I think other Commonwealth countries, but I know Canada for sure. And it's the day after Christmas. And that was the other day that I had to go into work at 4 and stay until 11, and it was the day after Christmas, so every year when I worked that job, I would spend Christmas Day with my family doing Christmas, but I would also have to be studying retail flyers to learn what the sales were and what the SKUs were and prepare, and, like, field calls from customers that wanted to buy certain things. It just ruined Christmas. Boxing Day ruined Christmas for me. So I also very much enjoy spending Boxing Day at home. It's just another big shopping holiday. They don't pay extra for Black Friday either, which is bull. I was lucky in that because I was commission, I did make extra on Black Friday. Like, it was a crazy day, but I was paid for it. I can't imagine being like a Best Buy employee where you're not commission and you just have to do it anyway. I mean, they would probably have a harder time making me stay for 18 hours. Although I think they do anyways. I don't know. Those jobs are it's a good job for like a student. It wasn't a bad job at all. It was just certain parts of it were really rough. I live less than 10 miles away from Northridge and Santa Cruz's earthquake. Wall Street Journal did a great feature on Black Friday. Turns out it isn't the best prices of the year at all for almost anything. After having worked in retail, I will never spend huge money on like a Black Friday deal because I know that this, like, if you're getting like a TV or something real cheap, or like a computer real cheap, it was made cheaper, They're not giving it away for fun. It's like when the store was running up to Black Friday, we would get Black Friday specific SKUs that were manufactured specifically for Black Friday so that they could sell at that price without taking a big loss, which means that there were things that were cheaped out on. They would often get returned. They would often break early, and maybe you'll get lucky and you'll pay not very much money and get a crazy thing, but if I'm getting an expensive piece of electronics, I want it to work for me for as long as humanly possible, and that means that I'm going to take the time to do the research in what I need. And what am I doing right now? Oh, I need to shoot the bats. I got in this thing before. It's like, what do you want from me? I'm going to take the time to do the research and figure out what I need. And if I have to pay full price for it, that's fine. I'll pay full price to get the right thing, as opposed to getting something cheap that's not going to work, and then you're just out whatever you spent on that. In Winnipeg, we only have to deal with extreme -40 weather. Only. I never had to deal with anything that crazy. And, like, I'm from, like, the Victoria-ish area, like Vancouver Island. And we got some winters there, and at one point I lived in a slightly more mountainous region of the island, so we would get a lot of snow, but it wasn't anything super crazy like that. It would only ever get to maybe -20, maybe once or twice a year. It would be cold, but it's not like touch something and lose your fingers cold. And I've heard lots of stories about like Winnipeg and Alberta, and of course like the Northern Territories in the winter, of just how dangerously cold it gets. Come to Greece, you gotta love the sun. I'm kind of afraid of sun. I wear so much sunscreen whenever I have to go out in the sun, and I wear sunscreen even when it's not sunny. I wear sunscreen in my face every single day, just like reflexively, because I'm like super terrified of sun damage. I live in Ohio. The only thing here that will kill you is excessive amounts of corn. For real though. Is the Queen of England still the official leader of state in Canada? Kind of. She doesn't really have any more power in Canada than she has in, it's very much a ceremonial position than she would have in England. She has, I think, power of veto on laws, and it's been a long time since I've done any Canadian government, so don't take anything I say super seriously. But I don't think she ever uses it. I think it's pretty much she looks nice in her coins. We get very excited when she visits, and that's about it. The parliament and the prime minister run the country. I was using World Quest Tracker, but it stopped working today. What World Quest add-on are you using? That's a good question. World Quest Tracker. Is that what I'm using right now? World Quest. Yeah, no, I'm using World Quest Tracker. That's the one I've got. Works for me. maybe it's a hardware issue. When you shop at Walmart, they have SKUs only for them. It's cheaper stuff, even if it's name brand. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I'm always a little bit cautious of Black Friday merch. It doesn't mean that you can't get a really good deal on something on sale. It just means that you got to be careful of the shopping holidays. They ramp up prices over the month leading to Black Friday, so the sale prices look more tempting. Yeah. True. Greece is breathtaking, and I'm not from Greece. I would love to visit, don't get me wrong. I don't know what people do in vacation in other countries, though. Like, I guess you go see the things. Like, you figure out what the tourist things that you want to see are, and then you have, like, a list of a couple things that you want to do there that you can only do there. And then you see them? I don't know. I've never visited another country, aside from, like, I've been to Canada and America, which are, like, very, very simple. Like, they're different countries, don't get me wrong, but largely they have a very similar culture. It's not like there's a language barrier. Most people can't immediately pick me out as being an immigrant. I have a bit of an accent, but nothing crazy. What is the purple bar for in the middle of your screen? That, my friend, is my Shadow Priest weak aura. It is from howtopriest.com. The guy that made it doesn't contribute to the website anymore, but the weak aura still works. And it contains all sorts of different information about my void form, how long I'm going to be in void form, how much insanity I'm going to get from my next spell, what my stacks are, what my stacks will be by the time my thing is expired. Just lots of good void form-ish Shadow Priest information on that bar. And showing insanity. What about Boxing Day deals then? Is that a good day to get a computer deals? It's the same situation. If you need a cheap computer, then you can probably find a cheap computer. But I would be very careful and make sure that the computer you get has what you want, and keep an eye on the 1-year warranty, because if it does break in the first year, you might need it. It's the same situation where they do manufacture them specifically for the holidays, so they might use cheaper parts. You might get lucky and maybe nothing ever breaks. It's not like it's guaranteed to be trash, but it's also not guaranteed to be a high quality product. You don't strike me as Canadian, just an immensely nice northerner. Oh, I don't know how to feel about that. I miss Canada a lot sometimes, and it's a little bit silly, but sometimes I get a bit upset if I'm mistaken for being American, which is so silly, because how is anybody supposed to know? Nobody's supposed to know. But I miss home. When I go on vacation, I ride the local metro train system for funsies. I'm weird. Yeah, I mean, some places have really cool transit. If you ever go to Vancouver and you've never been to Vancouver before, the SkyTrain is just fun. I mean, I'm sure it's not that fun if you live there and you use the SkyTrain all the time. But whenever I went to Vancouver to go shopping or something, I always enjoyed taking the SkyTrain. I know a guy who goes to other countries and only eats the food. He's living his best life. That sounds cool. The food has to be one of the most important parts of traveling and, like, experiencing what it's like to live somewhere else. I would think. I don't know. I can't imagine traveling and then only eating, like, Subway. Having grown up in Canada, I don't deal well with ambient temperature being higher than body temp. Australia and I probably wouldn't get along. I'm on board with warm weather. You'd think I wouldn't be. Like, I don't mind cold weather. I think it's really funny when it gets to be, like, in Celsius, it gets to be, like, 10 degrees Celsius around here, and everybody just, like, freaks out. But, or the fact that people just can't handle snow. The tiniest bit of snow, and everything shuts down out here. Which, I mean, to be fair, they don't have the kind of infrastructure to deal with snow. It's not like home where there's snow plows and, things to fix it. And nobody has snow tires here. Nobody. But it's I can get on board with some warm weather. If it's, like, really warm and it's really humid, that can be rough. My hair does not deal with humidity. But that's not exclusive to other countries. Like, when I went to Toronto in June once, and it was like 40 degrees Celsius and disgustingly humid. And I was like, I can't believe this is Canada. I don't like it here. I want to go back. I've heard in a boot slip every now and again, and my guild gives me a lot of grief for that. They like to stop the conversation to point it out. Do I want to go do that? I I don't really want to. Oh, you know what? I've lost my buff. Let's go back. Let's go home. I had to deal with a major ice storm last year in Oregon, freezing rain plus snow and negative 12-degree weather. I don't remember that. I mean, I'm sure Southern Oregon. I'm not too far from Portland, so I'm in a pretty sheltered place. I'm in Ohio, and I catch myself saying a boot every so often. You can always put on warmer clothes. You can only get so naked. True. That is some truth. Kitty, are you getting that? No, you just turn around. It's true. You can only get so naked. You gotta get the fans. You gotta get the fans. The hardest part about extreme heat for extended periods of time is trying to sleep. That's the worst part of it. You can have like fans blowing in your bedroom, and it's just when it doesn't cool down at night, that's tough. That's definitely tough. I'm excited to eventually ride the SkyTrain. Canada seems like a magical place. It's a place like any other place. There's good things and bad things. But I definitely miss it. I wouldn't mind living there again. As far as just like convenience things though, there's a lot of things that are just easier in America. Internet speeds and prices. They're not great here, but they're not Canada bad. And there's a lot of things that like shopping online from Canada. Shipping can often be quite expensive, and there's a lot of places that won't ship to Canada. So like here, anything that I can really think of to buy online, I can probably get it, and it probably won't cost me very much. Oregon does have snow tires. It's illegal to put salt on the roads. Do we have snow tires? I guess I spoke with misinformation. I don't drive, so I don't know where I actually came up with that, to be honest with you. I would like to learn how to drive in the next year or so. I just need to get my ID issue sorted out. My green card renewal is pending. So it's not like I'm illegal or anything. It's just I don't have the documentation with me that's been updated yet. And until I get that, I can't get my driver's license. I can't get a library card. And I can't tell Blizzard that I don't live in Canada anymore because I need a scan of an ID. So I need to fix the green card thing first, and we're just waiting on the government. American immigration is fun. It's a real good idea. So glad I moved. Is it soda or is it pop? Where I come from, it's pop. And when I was growing up, I actually preferred the word soda more because I thought it sounded better. I thought pop sounded kind of silly, but it was definitely pop where I'm from. Is the accepted terminology. What am I looking for? Cranberries. Have you figured out the hair color yet? Maybe rainbow. Rainbow would be so cool, but I would not be able to maintain it. I think I decided I'm going to leave it for the foreseeable future, for a while. I will revisit the issue if I move into a house that I own where it's not a disaster if I accidentally, like, stain the bathroom. Yay for sane units. I miss Celsius. Fahrenheit's alright. It's not a big problem. It's just it doesn't make sense to me in the same way. Central Oregon hardly ever closes schools. I had maybe 5 total snow days in my life. You Europeans and your cheap interwebs makes me jelly. True. The internet in Europe, and then from what I've heard, South Korea also has very good internet for fairly cheap. I wouldn't mind taking a trip to Korea one day. I think it would be a big culture shock, but I also think it would be neat to see how other people live. Cheap internet isn't always better, though. The customer service tends to lack when you have cheap internet. Yeah. I don't mind paying as much as I need to pay for my internet because so much of my job relies on it. Like, when my internet goes out, as does happen here every now and then, I'm just toast. Like, I can't do anything, really. There's a couple things I can do offline, but if I come to a point where I need something online, I can't do anything. So I'm willing to pay what I need to pay to get good internet, but I need it to be good. Like, in Canada, I was paying for the best possible internet I could get, and my upload speed was, I think, like 8. I think I had 8 megabytes a second upload speed, which was workable. It was doable, but I couldn't live stream like this. Like, right now I'm live streaming in 1080p, 60 FPS, and there's no way I could do that from where I was in Canada. Maybe, like, I think there's some places in Toronto where you can get fiber internet, but not in the island, that's for sure. Maybe now. It's been a while. I've been gone for a while. You pay $10 a month in internet and you have 10 megs download, not bandwidth, just the normal download. Same price for optic fiber because it's already in the building. That's nice. Pineapple on your pizza or no? I don't hate it, but I won't choose it, and that's because typically pineapple pizza also has ham, and I don't eat ham, so I haven't had pineapple pizza in a long time. My favorite types of pizzas are always going to be like the Mediterranean types of pizza, you know, when you get like some sun-dried tomatoes and some spinach and olives and garlic and feta cheese, like that kind of thing. Artichokes, maybe? That's my style of pizza. That's my favorite thing. What am I doing? Oh, I was going back to I was going back to artists. I've used both. Some of my Ohio friends think I'm strange when I don't say pop. Same with people in Tennessee when I say pop. They'll figure out what you mean. Isn't there a place, I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that there's places in America where they use the word Coke and they just mean all pop. They don't mean cola specifically. They just mean all types of soda, but they just call it all Coke. And I think that's hilarious if that's true. First place in the world on internet is South Korea, and then China, and then here in Romania. I thought that the Nordic, like the Nordic countries, I thought that like Norway and Denmark were up there too, weren't they? If I was like moving somewhere by myself and I needed to find like a really cheap place to live to just do YouTube, if I don't know, South Korea might work, but I think the problem with South Korea is that you can find a really cheap place and you can get really good internet there. But a cheap place is going to be super duper tiny, and it's also going to have the thinnest walls in the world. I've heard that a lot of Korean apartments have the world's thinnest walls, and that would be a big problem for me for like noise pollution when I'm trying to record something. And then of course I'm speaking for like hours at a time fairly loudly, and if my neighbors can hear everything I say, they're not going to like me very much, especially because I'm like the strange white girl that nobody knows. Where am I going? What am I doing? What's my life? Oh, I was going up here. I'm just getting Army of the Light rep because I'm hoping that I can get a cache soon, maybe one day, that will let me get a amount. Name of the stream should be What Am I Doing? That should be really the name of most of my streams. It's surprisingly hard to keep a train of thought rolling. My mom is from Pensacola, Florida. Coke is for everything. Oh, that is too funny. I want a Coke. What kind? Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I don't drink a lot of soda, but Dr. Pepper was it when I did. It was like that in Virginia? Texas? Okay, that's the South then. The deep South. That's funny. Always add olive oil and oregano on feta and salads. Yes, that is the stuff. I gave up on appeasing people who prefer soda versus pop and vice versa. I just call it fizzy now to spite them all. There you go. There you go. That's the dream. Some even put peanuts in it. In their Coke? Peanuts? What? The Scandinavian regions have good internet? That might be a neat place to live too, although I feel like I have a better chance of learning Korean than I have of learning Swedish. Or any of... I don't even know what the different languages are in those countries. That's how underinformed I am. It's terrible. The problem with South Korea is it's next to North Korea. I mean, it's a factor, I'm sure. The most confusing part of visiting the state, specifically Texas, is ordering an iced tea and not getting the Canadian version. I've heard that the vice versa is also true. Like, people from the South will come up to Canada and they'll order an iced tea and they'll be like, what is this? Why is it gross? Because in Canada, or at least in most places, we do have sweet tea like you do. You can buy it in bottles and get like a Lipton iced tea. But if you order an iced tea in a restaurant, they're going to give you an iced, unsweetened tea. Like, it's actual tea and it's been iced and it's unsweetened. And it's not the same thing. And people that go into that expecting to have like a sweet drink are going to be deeply disappointed. You get asked if you want a Coke and then have to specify what kind you want. Actual Coke, Sprite, Pepsi, whatever's being offered. I remember when I first visited Florida as like an adult, like when I was old enough to remember it. I went to Florida when I was 18. I went to Disneyland with my mom, or Disney World with my mom. And the food there the portions were so massive. I don't think it's an America thing, because I think here I've had normal portions in restaurants here in Oregon sometimes. Some places will still serve you massive plates of food, but some places will serve you normal amounts of food. But in Florida, everywhere that we ate just gave you so much food, and I ended up getting really sick because everything had so much sugar in it that I couldn't even. It was good. Like, all the food was really good. It was just so much food. That might also be like a resort thing, because we were in, what do you call a place with Disney World in it? I've completely forgotten. But we didn't spend much time outside the resort, so that might be just a resort thing. Peanuts in Coke is actually pretty good. Don't knock it till you try it. How do you do it, though? How do you put a nut in a beverage? Do you just, like, plink it down and it sinks to the bottom? Does it bounce around in all the bubbles? Do you grind it up and, like, dust the rim with it? What do you do? I don't understand. Texas sweet tea with the right amount of diabetes. Oh, no. Swedish and Norwegians are phonetic languages like Mandarin, Korean, Japanese, etc. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it wouldn't be that hard, then. It's just the sounds of it. When I hear people speaking Swedish and Norwegian, I can't identify any of the sounds. Could be worse. Could be carbonated milk. Do people do that? Is that a real thing? Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. You know, if that's what you like, you follow your heart. We can still be friends. I just might not try it. Orlando. Thank you, Orlando. That's where we were in Orlando. The only way I can drink iced tea is that it has a heaping helping of diabetes. I don't blame you. When I do get like an iced tea in a restaurant that's unsweetened, like a Canadian unsweetened iced tea, I will generally mix in some sugar with it. I don't like drinking iced tea completely unsweetened. I'll drink hot tea unsweetened, but I don't like drinking iced tea unsweetened. Waffle House is awesome. Waffle House, is that like a restaurant? The small peanuts you buy in packages, not huge nuts. Do they package small nuts? Do you guys have mini peanuts? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. The Magic Kingdom. I don't know if I would enjoy it as much now as an adult, because as a kid I was very much into Disney stuff, and as a teenager I was very much into Disney stuff, and I still am, but I'm not like as fanatical about it as I used to be. I think I would get a bigger kick out of like a BlizzCon trip or a Disney World trip if they ever made that real. But I still liked it. My grandfather used to drop salted peanuts in his Coke. He said he liked the clash of sweet and salty. He just dropped salted planters in his bottle and can. Strange. I definitely get the sweet and salty thing. My grandmother used to really enjoy serving fruit with potato chips for the same kind of reason. You would get like some sweet fruit and like a salty potato chip. And that was really good. I always liked that. Sweet tea, it's only sweet if you have a pound of sugar for 4 ounces of liquid. Is this McDonald's drive-thru? We're having a very food-based conversation for sure. Rename the stream. Hazel contemplates going back to Canada. Oh man, I can't do it. I can't do it. My husband's job is here, and he's been at his job for a very long time. It's not like you can just up and leave. And I like it here in Oregon. I do like Oregon. I like Portland especially. Tasty, greasy spoon chain. Interesting. It's where the meth heads hang out in the middle of the night. Oh man. Did you like the Warcraft movie? I expected it to suck, so I was pleasantly surprised. I did enjoy the Warcraft movie. I went into it with very limited expectations because I don't know if I expected it to suck, but I definitely didn't expect it to be amazing. And I thought it was good. It didn't blow my mind. I definitely had some grievances with it, but it was a good movie, and I'm excited to see the next one, assuming they do more of them. Have you ever had chocolate-covered potato chips? I think I might have had that once, and I think it was amazing, and I never got them again because I knew I would eat too many of them. I think they were really good. Iced tea is weird here in Chile. You can find the Arizona or Lipton bottle teas, but most people would agree that tea must be served hot. When I think of like an Arizona iced tea, I think of that as like a completely different animal to actual tea, like hot tea. It's just not even in the same family of beverages to me. It's more like juice. It's like an energy drink or like a sports drink. It's just other category. I don't really keep them in the same place in my brain. I think Blizz should turn the pet game into what they did Pokemon. I don't quite understand. Hey, Hazel watching from Fire Station. Hope I don't get a call. I hope you don't get a call either, Pat. It's so weird hearing someone not knowing what a Waffle House is. Just imagine the most American-ish diner you can think of. Alright. We have, I went to a place here that was... We have Red Robin here. Is it similar to that? I've been to one of those. That was a very... It felt like a very American diner with greasy food. But I only went once and it was a while ago. Baby Thrall made it worth the price of admission. Home is where the heart is. Wherever you lay your head is home. That's true. I don't know if it's a bad habit, but I have a habit of still referring to Canada as home, despite the fact that I have permanently emigrated and I live here and my life is here, and it's not like I'm going back. I don't know. One thing I really miss from Oregon is Sherry's, mostly for the pies. Yes. The Sherry's pies are pretty good. And the fact that they're just always open, like if you're having like a really bad night, for whatever reason, like you got some really bad news and you can't sleep and it's like 3 a.m. and you're just like up super late, the one thing that can kind of make it like sort of redeem just a really terrible night is, you know, like, you know what? Let's just not do this anymore and let's just go get a pie. Let's just go out at 3 a.m. and buy a pie. I know I've done that at least once. Oh, Pokemon Go, but Blizzard pets. I don't know how that would go. I don't know how that go. Like an AR like world-based. I don't think Blizzard's gonna do that. I'm probably gonna be wrong because I'm often wrong, but I don't think Blizzard's gonna do that. I think if they went into mobile games, it would be something different. They announced it as a trilogy. They did, and they've talked about what they want to do for a sequel. I just haven't heard anything about it being even pre-production yet, so I'm a little concerned. Until Waffle House, I thought Greasy Spoon was just a figure of speech. You know what I've heard is like gonna be a thing though, is I've heard that Niantic, who makes Pokemon Go, is working on a Pokemon Go style game, but with the Harry Potter universe. And I don't know anything more than that. I haven't even looked up the original article. I have this information very secondhand. But how cool, like, I'm just a super massive diehard Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter a lot. And I would be very interested to see how that works out. I played a lot of really terrible Harry Potter games in my life, and I think if it turned out well, that would be really cool. I will 100% buy a 3-foot-long wand-shaped phone case and then run around in the world Wingardium Leviosaing invisible animals, you know? Red Robin is awesome. Try the Banzai. I haven't been out. We don't really eat out much anymore. It's too expensive, and our dog can't be left alone, so we have to, like, board the dog, and it's a lot of money, and it's not really worth it, so I just cook. But, Hazel, did you like the Warcraft movie? I did. It's like Denny's, but worse. I haven't been to Denny's in a long time. I went there once, when I was first visiting America before I came here. I went there once after having gotten off my flight for like food because I was really hungry. I hadn't eaten in a while, and I got so sick. And the one time I ate there, it made me really ill, so I never went back. Looking for Horcruxes maybe. But once you find them all, then what? There needs to be more continued gameplay. What house are you in? Oh god. So I did the official Pottermore quiz, and it decided that I'm a Hufflepuff, and I wasn't very happy with that, because I always thought that I would be either a Ravenclaw or a Slytherin. I was very book inclined and very studious as a child. I was very much a hardcore student, and I thought that might lean me towards Ravenclaw. And then I don't know. I thought I'd be a Ravenclaw or Slytherin, but no, apparently I'm a Hufflepuff, and I've come around. Badgers are cute. Hufflepuffs are hardworking and they're loyal, and I think I think being hardworking is the most important trait that you can have. Well, that's a big statement. It's one of the most important traits you can have. I would rather be hardworking than smart. I would rather be hardworking than, like, really pretty or rich or anything, because if you're really hardworking, you can make a lot of things happen that you won't appreciate in the same way if they're just given to you. She's in her own house. The Prison of Azkaban Game Boy Advanced ogre fight still scares me. Prisoner of Azkaban. Did I play that one? I didn't. I had the Chamber of Secrets game. I remember fighting the Basilisk. I didn't have the third one, though. I only had the first two. Hazel is up my house. Is there anyone in Carbon that can invite? I've been trying to get into the guild for a while now. We are not accepting new members. You're probably not going to get in. Have to go. I'm meeting with some friends. Bye, Hazel. See you later, Shanley. Do you watch anime sometimes? I don't. I don't watch anime. My husband watches some anime sometimes, and I will occasionally watch one with him if it looks important. But I used to. As a kid, I would go to anime conventions, and I would cosplay, and I watched anime all the time as a teenager and like a young teenager growing up with my friends. And back in the day, when I was like 13, 14, I was very into Ouran High School Host Club, and younger than that, I was into Naruto. But I didn't really keep up with it. Now, these days, it's not any cooler, but I have been recently watching a lot of K-dramas. Like, really, really cheesy, ridiculous K-dramas, and I've been getting a big kick out of that. Alright, so... Oh, Varg is up. Excellent. Maybe I can get an egg. I've been really slacking on getting the fell-spotted eggs. Let's see here. Home... Oh, I'm in the wrong journal entirely. Raids, mounts, pet journal... Mounts. Yeah, I only have half of these. I have the orange one and the purple one, but I'm missing these two. And to be fair, the purple one was the one that I really wanted, so I'm pretty much good, but I have not been farming these. If I was really after it, I would take the alts that I have and I would, kill a thing. While You Were Sleeping is the best this season. Oh, I should see that. I canceled my subscription to Drama Fever because I didn't have as much time to watch K-dramas, because I get a little bit obsessive. I have self-control issues, and when I get hooked on like a really good drama, once it starts getting really cliffhangery, I have a hard time not just binge watching episodes, and when I work from home and I have nobody to judge me when I'm not working, that can be really dangerous. So I canceled my Drama Fever subscription, and I only watch them occasionally now. But if there's good ones, I might have to go back. I didn't finish Goblin. I did not finish Goblin. It was going really slow for me. Everybody thought it was really great, but it was just so slow. So I didn't finish that one, but you know what? I'm almost done. I only have one episode left, and I'm really sad. I've been watching Strong Girl Dobungsun, and it's so good. I can't handle it. You and your husband should watch an anime called Jellyfish Princess. I'm gonna write that down and look it up because the name is intriguing to me. Jellyfish Princess. I'll definitely give that a Google. All right, maybe we can get an egg here. I have not been drinking my tea, and it's getting cold. I appreciate that my cat has managed to find a place to sleep where she's almost centered in the can. Actually, I have a label I should have had up there. Just in case you guys were confused about what that animal was. It's very important to market it specifically as a cat cam. She's not bad cold, actually. I've forgotten. I would put more details about what kind of pu'er it is in the title, but I've lost the label and I've forgotten. It's just yummy. I'm pretty sure it's from Munghai. Why do all female streamers wear glasses? I think a lot of streamers wear glasses. I don't think it's a female streamer specific thing. I don't need glasses to see. These are gaming glasses. So they just help me with eye strain. Considering that I spend all day, every day on the computer, it helps me not hurt in my face. It's a cat, right? Like, I don't know how you were gonna figure it out. How could I be so silly as to have forgotten to put the label on screen? Stop staring at that screen or you will go blind. Yeah, hashtag my mom. She never minded me using a lot of screens, but she was always very upset if I sat too close to the TV or spent too much time with the Game Boy, which, to be fair, I did spend a lot of. I was very addicted to Pokemon Gold as a child. I spent a lot of time with Pokemon Gold. How many random Korean words did you learn while watching K-dramas? I didn't pick up too many Korean words watching K-dramas, a couple of the really basic ones. But I have started Duolingo, which is a language learning app on, I know it's on iOS, it's probably on Android too, I don't know. They finally came out with a Korean course, so I've been taking a bit of time every day, 10, 15 minutes maybe, not very much, and started to work through the Korean course in Duolingo just so that I can understand a little bit more. I'm 16 days into that, so not very far. I can't say anything, but I'm at least learning how to read Hangul a little tiny bit. Not very much. Trade Chat does more glasses? I don't think Panzer does. That's true. Yeah, it's not everybody. It's just, I have noticed a lot of streamers do wear glasses, and I think it's because they either A, need them to see, or B, if you're a streamer, you're staring at a computer screen for many, many, many hours, it's not a bad idea to wear some computer glasses to protect your eyes. I'm a new subscriber, and I love your videos. Thank you so much for all you do. You're awesome. Thank you, Deja. Welcome to the stream. Did I get an egg? I didn't. Are there any of your other cats up? I should probably do the artifact power thing. Oh, I am very, very flattered that you guys are willing to come here and hang out with me and chat with me every Friday, especially when I'm just doing World Quest. I know this is not the most interesting thing on the planet to watch, but it means a lot to me that people will come and talk to me and hang out, especially lately. All my friends have been doing other things, so, and I work here by myself in my office with my cat, so I can often go a couple of days without really talking to anybody, aside from my husband, and it's just really nice to chat with people and think about things that didn't occur to me naturally. I miss that a lot, and I really appreciate that people will come to my stream, because otherwise I would get very, very lonely. Should I do this? I keep looking at, I've been really lazy about doing the world bosses, because every time a world boss comes up, I go and I look it up in the dungeon journal, and I see what kind of loot it drops, and I go, oh, I don't need that. That doesn't help me at all. That's in a tier slot. That doesn't have enough haste. Why would I wear that? And then I don't. I have made a mistake. I have made a big mistake. I'm just gonna kill these things. I'm gonna stun them. I'm gonna kill whatever decides that it wants to live here, and then I'm going to go back around the correct way, because I did not mean to jump over onto this platform. Do you love your cat more than your husband? What kind of a question is that? I probably spend more time with my cat than my husband. World bosses drop legendaries. Yeah, I have all my legendaries though. I have all the shadow legendaries. So whenever I get a legendary, it's just a random healing legendary that I've never heard of, and I'm not gonna heal. I just stick them in my bank and then forget about them. If I do ever get through getting all of the healing legendaries, I believe after that it starts to drop you tokens that you can use to get legendaries in your ult. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I have a lot of ults that don't have any legendaries. I might play my hunter more if I could actually get a legendary. Blind as in I also wear glasses to see. Oh, Are those the same kind of glasses that Bay from Final Boss TV wears? I'm nearly blind and I noticed the tint of his are ridiculously yellow. I don't know what kind of glasses he wears. They're probably not exactly the same as these. These do have a yellow tint. Not much of a yellow tint, but they do. It's harder to see, actually. They have a very, very slight yellow tint. A lot of gamers will wear Gunners. That's like the popular brand of gaming glasses. I used to want those. These are just cheaper, that's all. This is just like an Amazon brand. They're called Gamma Rays, and they work just fine for me, and I'm really comfortable with them, so I've never bothered to replace them. They were like 15, 20 bucks maybe. But it's probably a similar idea. I think you can, with Gunners at least, I think you can have prescription ones. Like if you need glasses to see, I think you can order prescription Gunners if you have like your prescription information. I've never worn prescription, well, I have worn prescription glasses, but I've never needed to order them like that, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure I saw on their website somewhere that that's a thing you can do. I used to have prescription glasses that were just for reading, just a little bit of a magnification, because I'm a little bit farsighted, but it's not a big deal for me in my day-to-day life now. It used to be a problem back when I was playing a lot more music. I was a trumpet major in university, and sheet music has to be a good distance away from your face when you are playing the trumpet, you know, because you got like a trumpet in front of your face, and some of it's printed quite small, and I just had reading glasses to help me with that. I just subbed, but I will come back when you play something better. I mean, if you're waiting for me to play not WoW, you might be waiting a long time. I only ever play WoW in this stream. And then sometimes we do baking. If you're waiting for me to play a different game, it's probably not going to happen. But if you're waiting for me to do something else in WoW, sometimes we'll do like a viewer time walking or a viewer battlegrounds. We haven't done viewer battlegrounds in a while. With glasses for electronic displays, the layers of light refraction count the most. It sounds like you know more about it than I do. I just looked for some that had good anime design reviews and then wore them until I was more comfortable with them. For all I know, they don't do anything, and I'm just wearing them because I feel like it. And it's just a completely placebo effect, but my eyes don't hurt, and I use the computer an awful lot, so it doesn't hurt, at least. Guildmate says in chat, looks like I'm leveling a priest now. Leveling a priest is the best choice. Oh, so you get them for a specific class. Like, when you get a surplus legendary, do they drop for a specific class? Like, if I got all my priest legendaries, is it going to randomly give me, like, a Death Knight one? Or, like, a Paladin one or something strange like that? Because that'd be funny. I posted last week's stream on my guild's website. Thanks, Dharma. Animal Crossing stream PogChamp? Man, that would be the ultimate not interesting thing to watch. I'm really hoping that I get to a point where I can spend less time. I'm so addicted to Pocket Camp right now. It's not even okay. It's not even okay. Like, I managed to hit every single reset yesterday. I wasn't like ignoring conversation or anything, but I managed to find time to do every single reset through all of Thanksgiving yesterday, through like 2 5-hour drives. I would find the internet and I would go give all the dudes their fish and bugs and whatever and like restock up. How would that work? They're soulbound, yeah, account bound. There's some kind of mechanic for once you have every legendary for your class, there's some kind of mechanic that lets you get legendaries for other classes, but I don't know the details of how it works. Beautiful cat, thank you. She looks so content. She's very good at that. She's a very good nap taker. It's a very important skill of hers. She practices all the time. Legendary token is bind to accounts. You can send it to an alt. Interesting. Is it class specific? Do you know? You probably already answered that. Based on your other message about your guildmate saying looks like they're leveling a priest, it would be implied that it's class specific. That scene was on for nearly an hour. It's really not hard to hit every reset. There's not enough to do in Pocket Camp right now. I'm glad that there isn't more to do, because if there was more to do, I would do it, and then I would never be able to leave my phone. I would be just glued to it. The way it is now, I can hit a reset, spend 20 to 30 minutes doing all the turn-ins and then restocking my stuff, and then I can be done, and I can move on with my life for, like, I have 2.5 hours of freedom to do something before I have to go back and play Pocket Camp again. That can't last forever. There's no way the game can compel me to continue logging on every 3 hours forever. Like, it's not gonna be years of that. There's no way. Eventually I'll have everything, right? Right? My cat is always asleep. I think she sleeps 16 hours a day. I think that's normal. I looked up once what the average or normal amount it was for a cat to sleep. Oh, I don't have I died. Did I die? How did I lose my buff? Oh well. I lost my rep buff at some point. I looked up once what the average amount of time it was normal for a cat to sleep, and it's a lot. Cats are like 12 to 18, I think. This game is perfect for long, boring work meetings. True. True, house cats tend to do that. Don't call my cat an it. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I call my cat an it, although I mostly just call her Cat. Her name's not Cat. Her name is Kira. She has a name. I just always call her Cat, because I just need to point and go, Cat. What's up, Cat? I would go pet her, but I don't want to wake her up. Anyways, it's about 5 o'clock, and I need to make a vlog, because I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to get started on that. Hopefully it will be out sometime before tomorrow, you know, was the dream. Thank you guys so much for coming. I will be streaming again, probably next Friday is going to be the next one. And I'll put out the Patreon poll for the baking stream pretty soon. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, guys.